Alright, this is my review for Hamnet. You know what's crazy? I thought that this movie was going to be boring and I was not going to see it originally. I just had an inkling. It's not even that I had an inkling. The trailers were good, but they didn't do something for me. And it's funny because normally I don't like to watch too much trailers. Like if I feel like I like something, I don't finish the trailer. I'll stop and be like, all right, I'm going to go see it. But Hamnet, I saw the whole trailer and I saw it multiple times and I was like, I don't know, it just wasn't doing anything for me. I think the trailers did a disservice to this movie because the movie was very good, and I think that there was so much more that they couldn't put in the trailer. And I'm normally someone who's like, don't put too much in the trailer, and they didn't have to put too much, but I think they could have showed, just not showed, but maybe hear William Shakespeare say certain things to kind of show. I don't know. Yeah, they could have just put maybe certain lines in it, or maybe showed, just. Because the thing is, from what I got from the trailer, I thought it was just gonna all be in the forest, and like it was gonna be, and I don't have anything against the forest. I'm just saying, like, I just thought it just looked like they're just gonna be in the forest, and it just was gonna be super slow. But the storytelling was very good. The pacing was very good. I never felt like the movie was long when I watched it. The only time I think it dragged a tiny bit was at the very, very, very end, and that's because they were. All I'm gonna say is they were building up to a play. They're building up to a play, and you got to see a good amount of it, and that's why. But other than that, and I still enjoyed it, but that's the only time the movie feels like it's slow, because they're really you're watching a play happen toward pretty much at the end of the movie. But I enjoyed the story of this family. It was heartbreaking, and it was heartbreaking, but then it was also I would say inspiring in a way, just because, like, and how, like, when someone really loves you, like, sometimes they let you go in a way. Because I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just saying, like, William Shakespeare's wife, she they're happy, but she knows that he wants more. She knows that she could just feel that him breaking. He wants to be creative. He needs to be in a city. He needs to be in London. He needs to be in a different place than just in by the forest and stuff like that. Like, he needs to be. She knows that he needs more than just nature. He needs to go out into the world, and she knew that, so she let him go. She still has his kids and different things like that, and they're still together. But the point is, she knew that about him, and that's why she loved him too. So, but there's hard times. Sometimes you leave and things happen, and I didn't know about a lot of stuff happening. I knew that there may be some type of loss of life and sadness in this film. That's all I knew. I didn't know what. I didn't know who. And when it happens, it's very sad, but also it's more than sad. Sad is an understatement. the way this movie makes you live it. You're like living through this family. So if something bad happens, you're in that moment with them, like, all the way, and you feel it. It's visceral. But I enjoyed this film, and I did not expect to be hit emotionally as much as I did. And if you see my out of theater reaction, I gotta be real. Like, I know, like I said, I'm not one to really cry in theaters. I'm not that type of person. I just, like, Titanic is the only thing I really, did a little tear one time. That was it. And I wasn't even in the theater when I saw it. I was a kid, and I watched it at home, whatever. I don't forgot where I saw it, but I just remember Titanic being something I was like, maybe I was so overwhelmed. I don't know. But the point is, this movie, I was watching it, and there's a point, and it's funny because you know what it is? I realize it's not just the movie. Yes, the movie can hit you in the feels. But obviously, if you go through certain things in your life, you might feel things a little bit more. Like, so for example, if you ever lost someone in your family, like if you lost your father, you lost whoever it may be. Like, so for me, that's like my pop. So when I watch this movie, like, I didn't expect it. I'm watching it, and I'm like, wow, the acting is great. Everything is great. And it's crazy because what I'm going to say is, all I'm going to say is this. There's a scene where William Shakespeare's son, he's just missing his father. I'm not saying William Shakespeare dies or anything. I'm not saying it. All I'm saying is that William Shakespeare's son is missing his father. Because, like I said, the mom, she said you should go to London. You should go somewhere. You got to be inspired, different things like that. So when he goes off and his son is missing his father just because his dad he's kind of come back, but he's just going at work. He's missing his dad. And this kid's outside, just like by a tree where his dad used to play. And this kid, whoever this kid actor is, he's so amazing. In that moment, he's not an actor. He's William Shakespeare's son. Like, he inhabits that character fully. Like, he is that character. That's who he is. You know what I mean? And obviously it helps because I didn't know him at all in any other film. So to me, that he is William Shakespeare's son. But his acting is so masterful in that moment. You could see the look on his face. You could see the way his movements, everything was just breaking down to a small tear. You know what I mean? And like he's just missing his dad, just standing in nature and standing by his tree. And when you see that shot of him just missing it, he's trying to be strong. His dad told him, he said, "Be strong while I'm going to be strong for your mom. You know, be strong for your sisters." And he's standing there, and then his mom comes out, and I don't know, this is basically spoiled, but I mean, it's just a warm embrace from a mom to a sad son. But when his mom comes out, and she just holds him, and you see him start breaking, like, oh my God, like I was watching the movie, and I was like this, the whole time I was like this, because it was slowly getting there, and I was watching like, okay, and then like I just felt it. I just felt it peaked a little bit. It's a little creeper creeped out and hit my cheek, and I was like, damn. I was like, I can't believe this movie that I didn't even really think about seeing did this to me. But like I said, it's not just a film. That's what I said. I think when people who are really emotional when they see movies all the time, like, I don't know, they're just really emotional people. I'm not like that. But I think sometimes you see a movie that touches a different part of you from your actual life, and then it could grab you if it's really good. And it grabbed me in that moment, and I was like, damn. I was literally in the theater like, damn. Because I'm honest. I'm like, I just got to be real. Like, I like the movie. That scene was great. The kid was great. The acting was masterful. And then even going forward, without spoiling anything, stuff that happens that kid, the trials and tribulations that young boy has to go through, and his sisters and his family, you know, like back in time, you know, back in those days when people got sick, it was hard, you know, you had to, you know, you had to get the herbs, you had to figure out things, you know what I mean? And it was just intense. Like I said, every moment that you're going through with this family, you're with them. It's visceral. You're part of that family. And I think they did a great job with that, because I thought I was going to be bored in this movie, and I wasn't bored at all. I wasn't bored at all. I was completely wrapped into this family drama. And also just like I like the little things, like even William Shakespeare's wife's mom told her a long time ago, said keep your heart open and different things like that. Like there's little things like that just inspire you in different ways that the film looks at stuff, whether it be death and life and just in creation and being inspired and having to go do something, having a calling. It's very inspiring when you look at it. But also, like I said, there's parts that are sad. But you know, that's life, just up and downs. But like I said, when you go through it with this family, you're going through it with them. And I gotta say that the one thing that really kind of like, it's interesting seeing different arcs, or I'll say different the way different things play out. Like all I'm gonna say is William Shakespeare's mom, let's just say she was not really friendly at the beginning to William Shakespeare's, you know, to be wife. You know, she wasn't really happy in the beginning. That's what I would say. And it's interesting seeing how the dynamics of things can change when you see someone go through things, you know what I mean? Like give birth, or, you know, just get married in general, create a family. And then, you know, how women can bond about certain things that they go through, and how even just as a person, you know, you might just be walking through the world, and then, you know, you have a certain job, and then after you have that job, then you have a certain empathy for a certain type of person, you know, who's doing that job, and like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, you know. So it's like this William Shakespeare's mom, like she's been there, she's had a family, she's had loss, she's done all these different things, and then now when since her son marries this woman, he goes off and he comes back at certain points. But the point is, now William Shakespeare's mom and William Shakespeare's wife, they have to like, it's not even there's not even like there's trying to be animosity. It's just that like you've seen how certain people treated each other in the beginning, and now you see throughout the story how close they become or how unclose they become. It's just interesting when you see the dynamics and you really think about, like, the movie doesn't really spoon feed you anything. The movie tells you certain things and it tells you, it doesn't tell you everything. But the point I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of moments that these actors and actresses do where it's felt. You could see the emotion and they felt. You could see how they feel about one another in the beginning of the film. Not everything has to be flat out said over and over. You know, maybe if it's said once, you know, and then later on you could see how their feelings toward each other change and how people become a family. And I just thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful, and I did not expect to feel this way about this movie. I liked it so much, and honestly, like, if it wasn't for certain scenes in this movie, I'll probably go see it again, but I don't know. I think I could see it again and just, I'm good. But the point is just like this, like I said, when you go through the highs with this family, they're up. But when you go through the downs, they're down. They're really down. And some of these scenes are so long. And I gotta say, I believe her name is Jessie Buckley, William Shakespeare's wife, the girl who plays William Shakespeare's wife. She's amazing. There's scenes in this where, I mean, that's funny because I heard people talking about like Oscars and stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna see this movie. She gives her all. When I say she gives her all, she leaves it all on the table. There's nothing that she does in this film where it feels like she didn't go all the way in. Like, everyone did an amazing job, but there's certain things that she has to go through in this film, and some of these shots they're long shots. It seems like almost one take shots because she's performing so powerfully. You don't even see the cuts. You just feel like you're in this emotion with her, and it's amazing, and it's also heartbreaking. But then it's just beautiful. Life is crazy. You see all the highs and lows, like I said, of this family, you're going through with them. But I enjoyed it. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. But that's my review for Hamnet. And I'll say check it out if you like. Yes. Spread love and light. And how we gonna sign off? Maybe let's sign off with I don't know. I feel like what can we do? Let's do a slash.